Here with a review of the Benchmade Mini-Griptilian. It's the 556 by Benchmade's numbering standard. I do have a couple different versions here to give you a couple ideas of what they look like. This is the standard Benchmade Mini-Griptilian. It's my friend's knife, borrowing it from him. This is a customizable Griptilian, which I'll get into in a little bit. And this is the Doug Ritter Mini-Griptilian 558, which I've reviewed previously and done a comparison between that and the regular Mini-Griptilian. So you can check out the link for both of those. As you can see here by the box, this is a blue class knife from Griptilian. So very nice. Get this out of the way. Now, some things on this knife. Use for this knife, it's probably going to be an everyday carry knife. You know, it's not a very big knife. It doesn't really have a tactical size blade. So probably this is, going to be an everyday carry knife. Forced into a tactical role, you could get some use out of that, but again, overall, it's going to be an everyday carry knife with a smaller blade and all that. Size-wise, it is somewhat thick, 0.51 inches thick, so not bad, but it's not super thin like a Spyderco Dragonfly 2 or a SOG Flash 1, but not bad overall. It's pretty smooth, so you're not going to have any issues with it in your pocket. Length here with it closed, 3.87 inches. The blade is 2.91 inches, and the overall length 6.78 inches. Weighs in at 2.56 ounces, so pretty light overall. I like my everyday carry blades under 3 ounces, so this certainly fits that. So there's the size of it. As I mentioned, the use of it, it's going to be an everyday carry blade in this type size. If you want something more tactical, here you go. Full-size Griptilian. Great knife, cool knife. Check that one out. I'll do a review of that one. Get that out of the way. Now, this knife comes in endless options. Any color you want. Actually, I'm going to bring this back in just to give you an idea of some colors. Any color you want this in, you can get it in. The handles come in, standard is the black. Also comes in blue, pink, yellow, olive, tan. There's the water model, which comes in orange. And then you can get different blade shapes, different blade colors. The black blade, tanto blade, the thumb hole blade. Again, just tons of options with this knife. There's a couple of the combinations that are locked in with people, like the tan with the black blade and the S30V steel is locked in for the NRA, and the OD handle with the black blade is locked in for Cabela's. So again, just so many options with even just the basic design of these knives. Now, what Benchmade has recently done is they've come up with a customizable plan for their full-size Griptilians and the Mini-Griptilians, and you can customize essentially everything on these knives. You can pick the handle colors from all those that I just mentioned. You could actually have a different handle color on both sides, so if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, throw a little shout out there, have a black blade or black handle on this side and a yellow on this side with the black blade. So the handle is customizable. You can customize all the hardware. The standard has the satin finish axis lock. I put the black axis lock on this one. Same here. The screw colors, you can change those. The liners, standard liner has that silver satin finish. I put the black liner on mine. So again, it's just super customizable. And I pick different pocket clips, and I'll get into the pocket clips in a little bit. But everything on the knife is customizable. You can inscribe the knife if you want to put your name on it, you want to put a logo, an image, they can do that for you. Ryan McGinnis at Benchmade does a great job with him. I've spoken with him a couple times, and these two knives that I've gotten, he's given me top-notch service on these. So I highly can't recommend that program enough. Check it out. Check out their website. It's just a great deal. You pay a little bit more for the knife depending on which of the blade steels you get, but I mean, it's just a great program. If you want to customize a knife as a gift for someone, or you just want one for yourself, it's great. So check them out. Also forgot to mention the blades. You can get them in the plain or the combo edge. That's the one other variation you can get them in. Now back to the standard knife itself. Go into the starting with the handle. Let's start on the back. And let me zoom in on these because I want to make a point about the pocket clips. Alright, so here's two different pocket clip options, and I want to make this point partially to say something about the pocket clip on the regular Mini-Griptilian, and partially to give you something to think about when you're picking out the clips for your customized Griptilian. Now, the standard pocket clip here is a painted clip, and it looks very pretty initially. And the other option here is this Parkerized pocket clip. Now, in the customizable ones, you can get silver ones, you can get different shapes. Again, endless options. I think there's 5 or 6 of them. But these two, which are similar, but will have a different outcome after some wear. This painted one starts out looking very nice, and this one is Parkerized. Parkerized is just a chemical process where they harden the steel, make it more corrosion resistant. And it doesn't look as nice initially because it comes in looking a little bit scratched up, but over time, this is going to hold up a lot better than this painted pocket clip. The paint actually chips off over time. It's even starting to do it a little bit around the edges here. And so over the time, this paint chips off and the pocket clip ends up kind of silver, but chipped off, exposing areas of silver. Whereas this Parkerized one is the better option, apparently a more expensive option, but I don't think they charge you anymore for it. So just one thing to consider when you're making one of those custom knives. Now, going over back to the overall design of this pocket clip, it's reversible right to left. You can get the mini torque set and swap that out. The grip, it runs along a pretty smooth surface here, and it's not super tight. So I don't think you're going to have any underclip issues with it, ripping into the fabric of your pants. Axis lock down here. The jimping, some people think the jimping here is not that much. You zoom out a little bit. I mean, it could be better, but compared to some knives which have truly aesthetical jimping, this actually has a little bit here. I mean, it has somewhere you can actually kind of feel it. The jimping up onto the thumb ramp is not as good as, say, this Doug Ritter model. And you can see the jimping on the thumb ramp there is much better. And I mentioned that in the comparison review of these, but much grippier and much longer, much better purchase you're going to get on the Doug Ritter model there. So overall, pretty good with the handle. The handle here is made of a Velox PBT, polyethylene terephthalate, which is just a long chemical name for the resin they use for these. That's not as strong as the Norol GTX they use on the Ritter model, but one of the ways they make up for that is with the liner. The liner is not milled out, but to save weight like they do on some other knives, but it's already a pretty light knife at 2.56 ounces, so not that big of a deal there. Axis lock, my favorite. Super quick to open. Love the axis lock. There is really no blade play between them. You can loosen up this torque screw here if you want it a little bit looser. This one, I don't know if my friends adjusted it very much, but it's fairly stiff compared to these that I've loosened a little bit, and that does give you just a little bit of some play here. Really not enough to really care about. But I love the axis lock. The other thing I like about it is that when you close it, you don't have to put your thumb in the way of the blade like you do on a liner lock knife. A lot of people prefer that. So it's really nice. Really prefer the axis lock. The blade, standard blade steel is the 154 cm, which is it's an upgrade. The older steels used to be a D2, which is actually what this one is because I couldn't get the black blade with the S30V. So I got it with the D2. I actually have an S30V satin blade coming for this knife. But anyway, the 154 cm is pretty good steel. If you want to get the nicer steel, the S30V on any of these, you can do the customizable one, and you can pick that up if you want that. The blade shape, at least this one, the drop point, not full flat ground. It's partially flat ground from here on down, but overall cuts pretty well. It's a nice shape for cutting. Not as beefy as the Ritter model again, but again, not bad. Pretty nice shape for a nice small everyday carry knife. If you're looking for something beefier, here we go. Full-size Griptilian. What else? The ergonomics of the knife. Fits pretty well in your hand. I have medium-sized hands. Some people wonder about your dangling off the edge here. For me, it's not a big deal. It fits really just fine in my hand for almost everything I do with it. Again, if you need something bigger, full size. Value of these knives, you know, I guess it's kind of relative. $95 is the standard price for the Mini-Griptilian. The Ritter model is going to cost you $112, and that's what they're going for. And then the customized ones are a little bit more expensive, and they vary on price between which blade steel you get. But expect to pay upwards of $120, $130 for those. But again, all the stuff you can customize on them is just, you know, it just makes it a great knife. So, you know, these knives come in tons of cool colors. You know, you want something brighter, you want something more tactical. They're cool knives, great for everyday carry. So check them out if you're looking for one. The Benchmade Mini-Griptilian 556. Thanks.